Solomon had asked God for wisdom to rule well, and he did rule well for a long time. He built a beautiful temple for the Lord. He wrote wise proverbs to teach young men the right way to live. He made his country even stronger than it had been in David's time. As he grew older, Solomon grew careless about obeying God. He married foreign women and let them bring their idols into Israel. All of the 12 tribes of Israel followed him and were part of his kingdom. Solomon wanted to make more and more beautiful buildings. He made people work very hard even when they did not want to. He also made them pay high taxes. Solomon had altars built so that his wives could worship their false gods. Jeroboam was one of Solomon's workers. A prophet of the Lord came to Jeroboam and said, "Solomon has disobeyed the Lord. Solomon will be the king until he dies, but after that, the 12 tribes of the kingdom will be divided into 2 parts. Solomon's son will rule 2 tribes and you will rule 10 tribes." After King Solomon died, everyone expected his son Rehoboam to be the new king. All of the people gathered in the town of Shechem to crown Rehoboam. Jeroboam came before the king. Jeroboam and the people said, "Your father, Solomon, was very strict with us. He made us work long and hard for him and pay many taxes too. If you will be easier on us, we will serve you well." Rehoboam said, "I need 3 days to think about this." The people went away. First, Rehoboam went to the older men who had a great deal of wisdom and experience. Rehoboam asked, "What do you think I should say to these people? Should I lower taxes and give them less work? Should I do what they've asked?" The older men said, "Yes, if you treat the people kindly, they will be your loyal servants." These older men had been advisors to King Solomon. They knew that the people were not happy when they had to work so hard. They wanted Rehoboam to be a good king. But this was not what Rehoboam wanted to do. So he went to the young men who were his own servants. These men didn't have any experience, and they didn't ask for God's wisdom. They said, "Tell the people that you will give them even more work and higher taxes than your father did. That will show them how tough you are and that you are much stronger than your father." 3 days later, when Rehoboam met with the people of Israel again, he followed the young men's foolish advice and said, "I am going to be even stricter than my father was, more work and higher taxes." Rehoboam thought that acting tough would make the people respect and serve him. But this was not God's way of thinking or acting. The people were very angry. Many of them did not want to follow a king who was going to be mean. 10 of the tribes decided to make their own country and have Jeroboam as their king. They named their country Israel. They decided that they would never come to Jerusalem and the temple again. They would make their own place to worship. 2 of the tribes stayed with King Rehoboam. These were the tribes of Judah and Benjamin. They decided that the new name for their country would be Judah. They used to sometimes be called Israel too, but now they would never use that name again. God knew all along that Rehoboam would make a bad choice. Everything happened just like the prophet of God had said that it would. The kingdom of God's people divided into 2 parts. Rehoboam was not a good king and he did not follow God. Jeroboam was not a good king either. It was very sad because many people stopped worshiping God and began to worship the false gods of the countries around them. King Rehoboam must have wished that he had listened to good advice.